Do you ever feel like you want to try to put a custom keyboard together and try to keep it under a certain budget, but then end up spending like $100 more than you wanted to? Well, this may offer a fix if you're looking for something in that $150 to $200 range. And it's not a small keyboard either, it's 10 keyless. Today I've put together a custom mechanical keyboard for $152 before shipping and tax. I'm not talking about a pre-built keyboard with a hotswap PCB. No, I mean a kit, a full-on PCB, plate, and a case as a kit, then buying your own switches, keycaps, and stabilizers. And if you want to take your board to the next level and want to modify for better acoustics and typing experience, then the cost with the tools and lubricants sit at around $186. Now let's get into that parts list. First up is the DIY kit, which is the FLMK 870, which retails for $80 US on Amazon. I've never heard of this board before, but it seems to have what I need. It's a full plastic case in this white colorway, which I personally like. There are some other colors as well, but they are transparent. There's a KL hotswap PCB with support for screw-in stabilizers. Not to mention the PCB has south-facing switch mounts, which means it will have almost guaranteed clearance for cherry profile keycaps. There is a proprietary software that can be used, which is the only downside. The stock plate-mounted stabilizers are probably the best I've ever heard for an out-of-the-box experience. They are pre-lubed, but not in the GMMK Pro kind of way, which are way over-lubed. The plate is aluminum. There's an internal silicone dampener. There's 3 USB-C ports for connectivity, not pass-through, and the case is tray mount. Honestly, for the price, I can't complain, and it checks off pretty much everything that I need, except for the fact that it's a little bit of a pain to take apart. For the switches, I went with some milky Gatoron yellows from Canon Keys that I got for $21 for a 90 count. Gatoron yellows are tried and true, while the milky variant potentially offers a better sound signature while trading for smoothness in the switch, but that can be fixed with some lubricant. The keycaps I found are double shot PPT from a brand called Gligging, and I'm sure I butchered that name. These seem decent for the price. These go for about $35 on Amazon. They offer support for some different layouts and look as good for what you can expect for $35. The legends are good enough. There are inconsistencies, but they look good enough for a beginner board. I bought these Run JRX screw-in stabilizers off of Amazon as well for $16, and they come with these stab housing stickers and plate foam. I don't recommend using the sticker cutouts as the surface is a bit tacky and may cause some sticking with the stabilizer stem. Here's a list of additional modification materials that I'll be using for this board, which is around an extra $34, given that you have a screwdriver to take apart the case and a flat head to take apart switches, or invest in a switch opener and spend a few extra dollars. The only potential thing that I didn't include is a small piece of rigid plastic like a guitar pick or non-marring tool to take apart the case. I'll be using Krytox 105 for lubricating the switch springs, then I'll use Krytox 205 grade 0 for lubing the stem of the switch as well as the stabilizer housing, and lastly the dielectric grease for the stabilizer wire. Go very light with this application or go with Krytox 205 instead. There's plenty of options for lubricating your switches and stabilizers, but this will be the method I want to use for this build, and that works best for me in the amount of time that I have. The last thing I added was a single layer of painter's tape to the back of the PCB. I didn't include this into the mod list since it's a readily available item in most households. However, you'll get at least 90% of the sound I have here in this video without it if you don't have any. Anyways, let's hear how this keyboard sounds. Well, for less than $200, I think this keyboard came out great. It looks clean, has a functional TKL layout, and it sounds good. For those of you looking to dabble in the custom keyboard space without dropping too much money and want something bigger than a 60%, I would give this a strong consideration. If you're not on a tight budget and can splurge a bit more, I'd personally invest in some slightly higher end keycaps. You could also buy some smoother switches, but that comes down to preference. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and let me know if you want to see more keyboard builds or potentially keyboard live streams. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.